HCAM News is supported by our viewers and by Hopkinton Drug, located in this historic New England town since 1954. They are a multifaceted store dedicated to providing clients with an array of healthcare options.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this edition of HCAM News. I'm HCAM News Director Tom Nappy, here to fill you in with all that is happening in Hopkinton. On today's edition of HCAM News, we have the latest in Hiller sports and more. But first, the 26.2 Foundation gave a glimpse on what to expect with the soon-to-be-built International Marathon Center. The 26.2 Foundation recently hosted a public viewing of the progress made on the International Marathon Center. The land has already been approved, and they are now in the design process, working with Terry Healy, the co-founder and design principal for the multidisciplinary design firm Healy Kohler out of Washington, D.C.
In ancient Greece, the idea of democracy, and then from that we move into an area of the modern Olympics, starting with 1896, which is then that kingpin, that evolution that gets us to the Boston Marathon, right there. So the first part of this visitor experience is that we're dictating to the visitor that you have to go along this path. Because along that path gives you that history, the rich history of the marathon. It also defines why the center is in Hopkinton and the relationship to Boston, so it's site specific. But the best part about this visitor experience is at the start line. And at the start line, you actually walk into the marathon gallery. And just to let you know, there's blacktop in the Marathon Gallery. And from the Marathon Gallery, you then have access up into the top part, which is the marathon culture. So all of this is open. And what happens is that when you're in this space, over on the right-hand side, left-hand side, right-hand side, you have a large glass, a wall of glass. So you have that vista outside. And part of what the exhibit experience is that when you're running in a marathon, you're looking down, you're looking up, you're looking left and right, and you're looking where you're going. And that's what we want to do within this experience. So from that main spine, we have the culture on the top, then we have the health and well-being, and then the science and technology. All of this has been programmed so it works with different audiences as they come into the space. And then at this point of your experience, we have a finish line. And from the finish line, you go into the Hall of Excellence. And within the Hall of Excellence, you are introduced to those people that inspire, those people that have been associated with the marathon. So with that, a little bit of a secret about this is that when you start a marathon, and I'm going to show my age, I had to put a little RFID chip in my shoestrings, right? So when you start at the start line, you actually have a bank of computers and you register your name, a little bit about you, age, have you run marathons before, which ones, that kind of stuff. But you register, you get an RFID chip, and as you move through the experience, where you visit Tokyo, which has an interactive screen, London, Chicago, you can personalize your own visit, and you can build your own marathon. You're asked to design a route. You are asked to design a logo. We don't want to say that you're a director, but you can design and you can create your fantasy marathon. This is why it's an open area. is that you're starting to see these large cases. We call those open storage type cases. So there's going to be cases that have all the t-shirts that we've all saved, right? Yeah. And we're going to have the cases of those costumes that those weird people actually wear. We have a case on bibs. We have the case on the themes. It's because what we want to do is, if you're from San Francisco or Pittsburgh, we want you to feel connected because you've run in that marathon or you've been associated with that marathon. So it's all about building these connections.
You can view the full program airing soon on HCAM. The Select Board considered appointments to the Hopkinton Youth Commission. Here's a look. The Hopkinton Select Board appointed 2 candidates to the Youth Commission.
All right, why don't we start with Ivania?
Hello.
Hi there, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Good. You want to tell us a little something about yourself?
Of course. So I'm a current sophomore at Hopkinton High School, and I'm really excited to hopefully join the Youth Commission. I have been working a lot through the town for the past couple years. I'm the secretary and project director, I guess to call it, for the Hopkinton High School Diversity Club. I manage a lot of the fundraisers that we do and a lot of the organizations that we partner with to get projects done, such as the South Asian community of Hopkinton and the Hopkinton Freedom Team. Additionally, I work a lot with the school. I'm on the school council, and I am also a part of the DEI Student Voices team at the high school. So I saw the vacancy for the Hopkinton Youth Commission and thought it would be a great opportunity for me to get more inclusive and involved in my town. And I think Hopkinton's such an amazing place for young students to come and share their voices and opinions. And I see a lot of them at the high school and the middle school, having a younger brother at the middle school right now. And so I thought I would take the chance and hopefully make it on the board to be able to share my ideas and discussion with people, like-minded people like me. So it's a little bit about myself.
Good evening, everybody. So I moved to Hopkinton right on the onset of COVID, March 2020. And I have been engaging our youth in our neighborhood, which is 100 plus home over here, for the food drive, for the cultural events, which Mrs. Kramer was also invited in that cultural event. Hi, Mrs. Kramer. Okay. And also to in my daughter's local dance school, where I've been engaging with the youth and their families together. And now I'm in a stage in my life where I can devote more time, and I wanted to take it beyond my neighborhood to at the town level, and where I can bring the positive impact and involve more youth in their families and bringing the positive impact to the community. So that's pretty much about myself. I'm mother of 2 kids, which I said in my resume. I didn't put a proper resume per se because I thought I'll keep it very simple. The mother of 2, middle schooler and elementary schooler, been in US, and after moving across the country, Hopkinton is my home now, and I'm truly grateful for how wonderful community it is. And that's why I want to give back, use this opportunity to give back to the community when I have this time in my hand right now. That's all.
Excellent. Amy Ritterbush?
Ritterbush, yes.
Bernadette Stone?
Ted Stone, yes.
Mary Jo Lafreniere?
Mary Jo Lafreniere, yes.
Muriel Kramer?
Muriel Kramer's a yes. Thank you.
Irfan Nasrullah is a yes as well. Congratulations.
The Hopkinton Select Board also appointed a new police officer.
Those are things I participated in while I was at UConn. As Chief mentioned, I graduated from University of Connecticut in 2020. So those were things I participated in there. As far as the grappling goes, it's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. It's a martial art, mostly just for self-defense, controlling situations and making sure I can keep myself safe. Not really an aggressive thing in nature. As far as my boxing background, I participated in the boxing club at UConn, where I was the president and captain. And that was mostly a good opportunity to become involved in student government. So I got used to dealing with the student administration and things like that. So it was a good leadership opportunity for me to learn about myself and also how to run the organization. So I would say those things aren't things you should be too concerned about. Other than they've definitely helped me establish some good characteristics to bring to the department. Thank you all. Looking forward to seeing you.
Congratulations.
Mr. Chair, if I may.
Yes, of course, please.
I'd just like to welcome Matt to the HPD family, and you did a great job. And also like to thank everybody that put the work in to get Matt in front of us this evening. HR, our staff within the building. It's hard to express how much work from the time of a posting goes into to getting a final police officer candidate in front of you. We take it very seriously, and we work hard at every phase. And I just want to say thank you to everybody. And since you're right there, Maria, thank you.
You can view the entire meeting by heading to hcam.tv/gov. We're going to take a quick time out, a whole lot more ahead. Don't go anywhere. HCAM programming is supported by our viewers, thank you, and by Phipps Insurance Agency, representing companies such as MapFree Insurance. Their family-owned independent agency is deeply rooted in the communities they serve and offer time-tested insurance products to fit individual needs. Since 1950, Phipps Insurance specializes in home, auto, business, condo, and renters insurance. Welcome back to HCAM News. Believe it or not, we are already in the Hiller Winter Sports postseason. Regular season has come to an end, and this week we had some postseason play. Here's a look at the happenings during the first week of the playoffs. On February 26th, Kate Powers finished 8th in the All-State meet in shot put. Congratulations to Kate on yet another incredible accomplishment. The Hillers also had a good showing in the MSTCA Pentathlon. Congratulations to Shelby, Josie, and Bridget on a strong showing. Sean Golombiewski had a good showing in the All-State High Jump. He placed 6th overall. In wrestling, Justin Sokol placed 5th in the All-State Wrestling Championship and became the 6th Hopkinton wrestler in history to qualify for the New Englands. Tess and Eve Weatherhead of Hopkinton finished 3rd and 4th at the MIAA State Championship in diving. In the boys 200 free relay, Lucas Kaufman, Sean Haley, Kevin Gu, and Tyler Fallon placed in the top 16 with a season best time. Davis Pishaw also had the second fastest time in program history in the 100 backstroke at the state championships at Boston University. Boys basketball finished their season at 13 and 8 after falling to Wellesley in the Division I playoff preliminaries. Congratulations to head coach Tom Keene and the Hillers on a great season. On Wednesday, March 2nd, girls basketball hosted Malden in the Division I preliminaries. Hopkinton dominated in the first half.
The Malden distraction did not work. Kern trying to feed it up, stolen away to the rack. Yes! Kate Finnegan. The first time they've had the state tournament. Finnegan able to steal it away. Great interception. Fossbender for three. Got it.
Bang, that's a big one.
Feeds it in, scooped up in the air, pulled down by Cho. Cho up to Trendle to the rack. Count it. Cho feeds it up over to Iannelli. Great feed to Trendle, and she finishes.
That's a great play from start to finish.
Back to Doherty. Up top, Fossbender. Iannelli into Trendle. Around the defender. Count it. Doherty now Fossbender. Iannelli. Fossbender going to take it down. Up for the jumper. Yes. Steph Curry-ish.
Yeah. Oh, another steal.
Iannelli with the steal. Cho with the finish. It's Iannelli. Up now to Holden for three. Buries it. Davies feeds it over. Up and in at the buzzer. Nice bucket there by number 21, who I promise we will get a name of. The Hillers outscored Malden in the first half, 43-10, and took the game 61-29. Hopkinton had 10 different point scorers. Kiki Fossbender led the way with 9 points. Lauren Cho had 8 points in the Hiller victory. Jim Cousins hosted the final episode of HCAM's Hopkinton Hangout Hour. Here's a look.
Before we go, Mike has edited a final segment of highlights to bring you. And before that, I wanted to take a moment to thank you all for making this program successful. The staff here at HCAM have done a fantastic job of working through the pandemic. And Mike, Tom, Matt, and Bob are the best crew I've had the honor of working with in my career. I have heard many comments that the Hangout Hour kept people in touch and informed during the very long period of social distancing and staying home. It is very heartwarming for me to hear that and all the other nice things, because that's what we do, try to keep us talking and interacting. I won't mention any specific guests because I wouldn't be able to stop from listing all of them. Town officials, business people, those cooped up at home, just everyone. Thank you for sharing your time and your stories with us. Not only has this pandemic changed me, but the Hangout Hour has changed HCAM TV, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
I'd like to welcome the community to our very first Hopkinton Hangout Hour. During this time, while our community is looking to socially isolate and keep our distance, we want to step in and try to keep us connected virtually. So I know the quality of this is not what you usually expect from HCAM, but the emphasis here is on connecting community, getting people talking, getting people to share their stories and be able to, get some information along the way too.
And as I said, I'm on the phone. I've been on the phone every day with Dr. Kavanaugh and her administration. But it's an interesting. I mean, it's a complicated process because you're trying to control for multiple variables. But we believe that we've got the building is in good. All the buildings are in good shape. We've got controls, policies, and procedures in place.
The state still has not met, so we're still officially in the stage 1 drought for Massachusetts. But I think they're meeting either today or tomorrow. And I would think with the rain they had, they will most likely revise that standard. It was great to get the rain a couple weeks ago. Unfortunately, we also suffered some damage as we had quite the lightning storm that accompanied some of it last Saturday. But a couple of our wells took a strike. We had to replace some equipment down there. Unfortunately, we're able to get most of those back up and running. We have one well that's currently down for another issue, but we're working on that at the moment.
Yeah, and I would add, I think that, so actually it was last school year, I had a conversation with one of our students who actually reached out to me, wanted to schedule an opportunity to talk about curriculum and his experience going through Hopkinton Public Schools. And so I had the assistant superintendent that Carol just mentioned, Jen Parson, join me. And we had a really rich conversation with that student. Jen and I met afterwards and talked about some changes that we can make. And that has been in play. And I talked to teachers about this concept of windows and mirrors, which is not a concept that I came up with by any means, but it's a terminology out there that, when you're in a learning environment, there needs to be curricular materials that reflect who you are as a person, but also shed a light on other people that are not like you in a variety of different ways.
This is my nature collage craft number 1. She's very cute. I'm not going to name her, but she's very cute. All right.
Now, are there products that you could use that would keep those, keep the leaves like from drying out? Is there like treatments for it or anything like that would make it last?
Yes, there is. You can. Well, if you were going to really preserve that, you would mount it probably in an acrylic box frame, and you would spray it with I want to say fixative, but I think that's a photographic term. But there is material, there is acrylic or something spray that you can put on there to keep it intact.
Yeah, so Thompson's boot manufacturer, and if you look, I can't blow it up with the current software that I have it on right now, but this little sign right here says Grove Street. So this was the boot factory that is where CVS is today.
Oh, yeah.
And so this is Grove Street going up and Main Street running in front.
Now, when did that come down? Do you know?
Yeah, so that came down, it would have been early 1900s.
Oh.
Because this was a big boot factory in the 1800s. And if you blow this up, you can actually see people in the window, some of the people who are working in the factory. It's really a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And this was their post factory. This was the town barn for a lot of years.
Is this down by Ash Street?
This is right here.
Oh, that's
right
close,
here.
yeah.
Yeah, so this is the same location. That's where this was.
Oh.
But I think one of the things about implicit bias is, when we say no one is born with biases, we learn them over time. And what we have to recognize too is that it's really hard to unlearn those. If somebody says to you, if you've been raised with the notion that green-eyed people are bad people, every time you see a green-eyed person, logically in your mind, you might be thinking, that's right, Carol, dial it back because green-eyed people aren't bad people. But that will still come into your head, and you have to recognize that it did and say, this is the thing that I'm trying to remove from that learning that has been perpetuated over a very long period of time.
Yes. All right, so Tom got some responses from social media, which is very exciting to me, and he's going to share some.
All right, well, I asked, what advice would you give this year's graduates? And Sharon said this, if you want to know where you're going, look where you've been. Your interests and desires will always be the same. They make you you and are woven like a thread in a piece of fabric. Challenge yourself and don't be afraid to fail. You will learn most from your failures and grow because of them. Strive to be a kind, caring, thoughtful, compassionate adult. Best of luck, class of 2020.
That's so, Abby, that's so cool. That's so cool. Next thing you know, you'll be worldwide, which will be great.
That's my dream is to be United States wide. I mean, I really feel so passionate that this information needs to be in middle schools and high schools and in communities. But the fact that kids graduate from high school and don't necessarily know what anxiety is or what clinical depression is or many other of the mental illnesses and how to promote positive mental health. The fact that that isn't something that's taught in schools is really concerning to me, because our brains are one of our most important organs in our body, probably in my mind, the most important one. And things just aren't going in the right direction in terms of that type of...
Bob, thanks for being with us.
Happy to be with you. Good to see you, Tim.
Well, we may do just a quick little tutorial. Bob is the president of corporate communications, and give us a quick little overview of corporate communications and then the subset of that, which will lead into our discussion about the work you're doing in Boston.
It's time to tell you about some happenings in town you should know about. The 2022 spring registration for Hopkinton Hillers Sports is now open. Please register as soon as possible so that coaches can have accurate rosters in order to communicate with the students and families about tryouts and the upcoming season. Head over to familyid.com/Hopkinton High School. Show your town and school spirit by buying this 3 to 5 foot flag. They're $30 each. You can hang them on your house, hang them on your car. Head over to hopsenior2022.com for more information. A number of positions in town government are open. Town election papers are available. For more information, head down to Town Hall or check out hopkintonma.gov. Our picture of the week, congratulations to the 200 free relay team of Lucas Kaufman, Sean Haley, Kevin Gu, and Tyler Fallon as they placed in the top 16 with a season best time. A tremendous accomplishment by the Hillers in the 200 free relay during the state championships at Boston University. Congratulations. Upcoming town government meetings include on Tuesday, March 7th at 7 p.m., the planning board meeting airing on HCAM TV. Then on Thursday, March 14th at 7 p.m., the zoning advisory committee meeting airing on HCAM TV. For all upcoming town government meetings or to watch some of the past government meetings, head over to hcam.tv/gov. And for all town government meeting information, head over to hopkintonma.gov. Believe it or not, we are out of time for this edition of HCAM News, but don't worry, next Thursday at 6:30 p.m., we'll be back. For all of us at HCAM, I'm Tom Nappy. As always, we thank you for watching. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye, everybody.